Let's dive into a story about money, meaning, and human connection. It all starts with Yuto, a second-year middle school student, who casually says he wants a high-paying job during a career counseling session. His teacher scolds him, claiming there are more important things than money. But Yuto feels conflicted. Aren't adults also working for money? This contradiction frustrates him and leaves him pondering the true role of money. On his way home, Yuto meets a mysterious woman named Nanami in front of a grand mansion. She's come to visit a man known only as Boss, a wealthy figure who made his fortune in investment banking. Nanami invites Yuto to join her inside. There they meet Boss, who promises not to teach them how to make money, but instead to reveal what money truly is. He begins with 3 provocative statements about money. Truth 1. Money has no intrinsic value. Boss states this bluntly, shocking both Nanami and Yuto. To demonstrate, he explains that worn-out bills are burned every year despite being money. Boss explains that over 30 trillion yen in bills are burned annually in Japan, even though they once held value. If money truly had value, burning it would make no sense. That contradiction reveals its deeper nature. He introduces a historical example. In 1873, Japan's tax reform forced people to pay taxes in paper money instead of rice. This gave the previously useless paper sudden value because it became essential to avoid land seizure. Then Boss introduces a game. He writes Sakama dollars on playing cards and pretends they're money at home. At first, they're just silly cards, but once he imposes a tax on smartphone use, their value becomes real to Yuto. Next, Boss creates jobs within the household: cleaning, dishwashing, helping siblings. These tasks earn Sakuma dollars. Slowly, a small economy forms, driven entirely by made-up money and social rules. Yuto realizes that money's value comes not from the paper or design, but from shared belief, social systems, and necessity. Money starts circulating only when people accept and use it. Truth 2. Money doesn't solve problems. Boss challenges this notion by placing a donut and 1 million yen in front of Yuto. Which solves the problem of hunger? Yuto starts to see what Boss means. In a locked room with no vendors or helpers, 1 million yen is worthless, but the donut is life-saving. This illustrates that money is powerless without people willing to work and exchange goods. Yuto remembers rude customers at his family's tonkatsu shop. His mother calls them gods because they pay, but Yuto feels it's unfair. The work his parents do has real value, while some customers feel entitled just by paying. Boss highlights this dynamic. People often confuse payment with contribution. But behind every solved problem is someone's effort. Money only helps if someone accepts it in return for meaningful labor. Donuts require farmers, factory workers, truck drivers, bakers, and shopkeepers. The chain of effort behind a product is long and invisible. Money simply connects those efforts. It does not create them. Truth 3. Saving money as a society is meaningless. Boss explains that if everyone saves, but production capacity drops, like in a bread shortage, money becomes meaningless paper. In one scenario, the government prints more money to help citizens afford expensive bread, but prices only rise further because the root problem, the damaged bread factory, isn't solved. Money cannot increase the number of goods. If production stalls, distributing more money only leads to inflation. Real solutions come from rebuilding the factory, not from printing cash. Boss introduces the idea of a national game of musical chairs. As the population ages and fewer young people work, the number of available chairs, resources, shrinks, making saving ineffective on a societal level. Even if individuals save for retirement, society can't function unless future generations produce enough. Without production, money circulates but cannot buy what doesn't exist. True wealth lies in shared labor, not in savings. Boss urges Yuto and Nanami to imagine a future where people cooperate to increase production and support one another, not just hoard money. That's how society thrives despite shrinking workforces. In the end, Yuto begins to see money not as an end, but as a means, a tool that works only because of people. Understanding its limits helps him see a future worth building with others.